We
Hello.
are here. Yeah, hi.
We
We are
are.
here. Oh, we are. Yes, excellent. We are here for another round of Apocalypse Keys. As monsters wrestle with humanity, villains try to wrestle the world into ending. Um, I am Arman. I am your GM, who has also written this adventure and one of the playbooks that one of our players is playing here today. Um, I will let my players reintroduce themselves and who they are playing before we get right back into the adventure. Steve, why don't we start with you?
Oh, hello. Hi. I always forget that I have to do these things, and then I have the weirdest thing. Whatever. Okay. So I'm Steve. I'm the guy who's here most of the time. We're doing Apocalypse Keys. This is going to be our last big mini series before we do our big charity event in June, which is almost 90% planned. So now I just need to find players and DMs. So like that's the easiest part, of course. It's what else? I play games here. I do charity stuff. I do other things with the I got. Never mind. That's all I have. Sorry. Okay.
All right, thank you, Steve. Amir, what about yourself?
Hi, I'm Emir. I come from Bosnia. I am at Pasanov, most places online, and currently planning a small charity stream with Roll for Good. Well, not a small one, 2-day one on the 18th to 19th May. And I'm currently playing in the last, and her name is Simona. She's the last of the elves on this earth, and there's a whole lot of things you can find out about her if you stick with us for the rest of this stream.
I forget. I should have you introduce yourself last, as the last. It's right in your playbook name. But Martha.
I'm Martha. Most places, I'm Martha B. Neal. I'm playing Dr. Grayson Gnome, the Scalpel, that our DM wrote, and I'm very excited. I love him with all my heart. That's all I got.
I should hasten to add that I'm pretty sure she means she loves the character with all her heart, not the GM.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So, you guys are great.
As are you all. We are unfortunately missing a fourth player today. However, there is a dragon attacking Mercy Mansion, so many people have been unfortunately knocked out and or injured. To recap, there has been a murder in Mercy Mansion, an alternative to Division where monsters, instead of being forced to stop apocalypses, are almost forcibly converted into productive members of society, each in their own unique way. The ghost of a werewolf clone named Amit R has called in Division to help solve his murder. Our Omen agents, our very own monsters, have been slowly investigating and learning a little bit more about what Mercy Mansion is really like. The way that monsters are told who to be and how to be, and how their powers might just be being a little bit exploited. They also are aware of a very dangerous phenomenon of a certain soundlessness that leaves monsters in the vicinity with a certain rage and disgust for humanity. And in the wake of one of those recent soundless waves, a kind-hearted dragon disguised as a human named George has appeared to have completely lost control and is attacking everyone he can see within the dining hall, having just about to unleash a giant gust of flame. So, as we begin, and as George inhales deeply, preparing his attack, I need some questions answered from you, players, as this tick of the Doomsday Clock happens. First question, and any one of you can answer this: who is in the most danger from the dragon's assault? Do you think?
I don't think it's Simona. She's behind him, unless he'd noticed her in this kind of state that he found himself in. Then she would probably be his first victim to attack.
I think Dr. Grayson might be, because he is. I would like in this moment. I think in this this extended second that's happening here, I think Dr. Grayson is trying to sift the facts. So I don't think he's super cognizantly paying attention to what's happening.
Okay, that is fair. Alright, the second question is: what countermeasures do the staff of Mercy have to immediately take George out for good?
Screwdriver has to know this stuff. He's been in there programming algorithms.
Yeah, I think since there's very limited ways to defeat a dragon, they have this device, slightly graphic, but since it is a dragon, it's kind of like a cloud which they can aim at a specific person, which covers their mouth and makes it difficult for said person to breathe in or out. And that is their last resort because once it attaches, it can't be removed. So it is their last resort of sorts to take out someone. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, because like I said, it's a last resort. So yeah, I can't really think of another way to put down a dragon. So
that sounds like a very effective, very deadly, and very painful way to go out.
Yeah.
Currently, you do see Mercy mention. Well, they prefer to be called caregivers, but these people that you see wandering in here are dressed in full armor. It's black. It looks high tech. There are a lot of digital readings out along it. A lot of lights along the sleeves, and they are all holding what appear to be large energy guns. However, you do not see that, as the first thing you see is overwhelming brightness as fire engulfs most of you. You see a lot of people. Immediately take the brunt of attack, or knocked down on the ground. You said the doctor was one of the people in direct line of this. Yeah. What do you do to try and save yourself from harm?
I think I think the doctor is very an adroit mover, so very, very quick to throw themselves down, because they've got kind of 4 arms to catch themselves in the event of going down. So I think they're not hesitant to just throw themselves out of the way and just land.
Alright, so you do manage to get yourself out of the way pretty quickly, but you do also take you get somewhat singed from the sheer heat that is coming off this. You feel it burn into your back as you mark a condition from having saved yourself from being incinerated, but not quite gotten away scot-free. Alright, what do the rest of you do?
I think since Screwdriver is aware of this situation, last resort thing, he's going to try to use his abilities again
Okay.
to attempt to reach out to the mind of this dragon
Alright.
and kind of just soothe them from inside. Just be like, it's okay, you're fine, you're among friends. Nobody here is going to hurt you, and you shouldn't hurt them either because they haven't hurt you yet. If they hurt you, that's a separate thing. We'll talk about it then. But for now, it's just chaos for chaos sake. And as much as I enjoy that, I feel like maybe not inside. We can go out. We can go out and you can fly out and you can shoot fire in the sky. That's fine. But not in.
So the calmness of your voice is finding no purchase in George's mind. All you feel there is immediate rage. You know that rage you feel where things are just instinctual, where no one can get to you, where you're not really thinking rationally, you're just unleashing. And any voice that tries to calm you down only makes you more angry. That is what you're feeling going through George's mind right now. To try and get him to calm down, you're going to have to try and enforce your will on him. So this would be an Unleash the Dark roll.
Okay. So since the calming voice is not working, I'm gonna go the other route. Then I'm gonna be like, you want rage? I'll give you fucking rage, and it's basically like a way to convince him to take it outside. That's what I'm trying to do. If he's like, if I can't get him to stop, then fine. We go outside, we shoot fire into the sky. It's fine. We'll figure it out. So
Okay.
that's a 2d6. Where is my?
You spending any darkness tokens?
I don't have any right now, so I spent all
That is a
last
good
time.
reason not to spend them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 6. God damn it! I see these fucking rolls.
Well, you could spend. Do you have at least 2 bond that you can spend?
I have 1 bond left.
Oh, that is not enough. That would only take you to a 7, which is still a failure.
Yeah.
So you have greatly underestimated them. What happens here is George snaps his head towards you, where you are on this little tablet on foot of a mechanical wheelie, and just unleashes the smallest but a strong, like a laser focused spout of flame towards you. Your tablet is destroyed. You are currently not in this scene.
Okay. The minute as soon as the fire hits the tablet falls to the ground, and before it shatters, you just see a shocked emoji face on the screen before it disappears.
George continues. You do see more caregiver agents now shooting their guns towards George. Large beams of whitish blue energy hit him and seem to be. He's struggling against them. They seem to be trying to hold him in place, and he is moving against them. He breathes out more fire towards them. But then you see one of the residents of this place, a small toad-like creature, step up and with a few magic gestures make a weak force field around the caregiver agents. What did the 2 of you do?
Well, I think Simona has been getting rid of her cloak. That's just like started burning. But there's also the back. In her back, there's also the light that is coming out of her shoulder blades, and 2 flaming swords in her hands. So she was trying to at the same time like wrap people into her cloak and try to put it out and send them out of the room, and then turns to the dragon, seeing what happened to Screwdriver and what is about to happen to everyone else, and she just shouts, "Worm! Do not look at them!
Okay.
You look here and meet your doom!" And she's going to reveal all of her harrowing beauty to everyone in the room, but to the dragon in particular. because if he thought that all the elves were dead, this is full on elf. This is something that not very few dragons have seen and lived to tell tales about. She's going to also mark for this move. She needs to mark a condition, which is merciless in my case this time, and she's just gonna go on him like like a elf on fire. So it basically what the move says is this ends an attack or interaction as he is momentarily stunned by the revelation, and this will give us opportunities to maneuver a little bit more and do more to stop him.
All right. So he is stunned by the awe-inspiring, flaming beauty that is yourself. He is just staring at you. For the moment, just slack-jawed. You have an opportunity that the caregivers of Mercy seem to be taking, as two people dressed all in black are carrying this large device with straps, and they seem to be rushing towards George. What did the two of you do?
I think in this moment, the doctor is going to try to just dart over to try to fix the tablet.
Okay. This tablet has been smashed. It is going to basically push you to the limits of your technological ability to be able to do this quickly in as quick a manner as you'd like. So this would definitely be, with your unique inventing skills, a power through darkness. You're pushing the limits of your technological prowess. Are you spending any darkness tokens before this?
I will. I have 2 darkness tokens left. I will spend both darkness tokens.
Okay.
That seems so soon, but I'll do it anyway.
Why not? 11. Okay, you are on the edge of disaster. You can either mark a condition to exert better control of your powers, or let the Keeper tell you how the situation is not under your control. Before you decide to mark a condition, I will tell you what will happen. Nanotechnology is one of your expertises, right?
Yes.
All right. So you essentially unleash some of your nanotech to sort of basically have this tablet start to repair itself, and you've got it programming. However, it is also infected with the omniscience mind. This nanotechnology. As you start to feel yourself, Screwdriver, come alive in a way you never have before. You know that your technology has been restrained by division to keep your powers in check. With this, you don't know if this tablet will stop when it is just completed. If you don't mark a condition, it might keep growing to manifest something that could accommodate a cosmic being from beyond. And you don't know the limits of that. You don't know. You know that the nanotech will continue to eat away at the ground around it, possibly at the people around it. It might infect others, drawing them into the ever-consuming virus that is the omniscience consciousness. Or it might stop a little earlier. So this is entirely up to you.
Okay. Above the table.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, do I get a sense that Screwdriver would like that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. He is tired of just being confined to a tablet, and he doesn't know that the real reason is because they don't want to give him the power. He thinks it's because of budget cuts. So, and even though he is smart enough to figure it out, I think this is willful ignorance because he's just choosing to believe them.
Do you reflect on this often? Do you talk about it? About
Yeah,
how
I think
you
it's.
wish you could.
I think it's a big topic of discussion whenever Screwdriver and Dr. Genome are around, where it's like, how do you have so much budget, but why do I not get the budget? What the fuck? Why do they have different budgets for different things? Like, your work is cool, but I think being able to live is cooler, but okay. That kind of slightly passive-aggressive, but mostly, I don't blame you, I blame the corporate overlords kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I think I keep going.
Okay.
I think I don't mark a condition, and for a second, I think Grayson hesitates as he's looking at the nanotech kind of doing its thing, and he's at first he's like, yes, use peanut butter to fill in the cracks. Okay, we can make this work. We can make this beautiful. Okay, and then it keeps going, and he's like, no, this is perfect. No, we will make you more. You will be more. You will be better. This will not happen again. You will not crack like an egg next time. And he just keeps going.
Okay, so two things happen here. One is as soon as you decide to let it go, as soon as it connects online and it once again connects to the labs where Steve is, where Screwdriver is. Screwdriver, your consciousness fills it, and the nanotech explodes outwards. Away from the doctor, you have enough presence of mind to not harm the doctor in this moment. But suddenly, your circuits are firing like never before. You feel connected to the cosmos in a way that you never had before. And you recognize that if you don't stop this expansion, the entire mansion and everyone in it is going to be consumed by this nanotech to recreate you in all of your glory. And even that will just be a fraction of what you once were. However, you could stop at a certain point and still have a lot more freedom than you did in the large, outdated computers of Division. One spark of energy, one tendril of nanotech, however, they did reach out towards you, Doctor, and specifically towards your creation, which I believe you're carrying with yourself at all times.
Yes.
As a spark of that ancient consciousness fused with your technology hits it, you may mark 2 ticks on the It's Alive Doomsday Clock.
So I'm at 4 now?
I believe so. But yes, Screwdriver, what do you do?
Okay, I think the minute this happens, Screwdriver's brain goes into overdrive. I don't know if you've seen Person of Interest, but there is an episode in Person of Interest where so the premise is basically there's a sentient machine that spies on you, and it predicts future crimes and shit, right? Person of Interest, there's a certain episode where in a span of 30 seconds, it calculates 5 billion different possibilities what will happen to to its human counterparts. And I believe that is what Screwdriver does in the time it takes for him to be rebuilt to the expansion to decide what do I do here. And I think the possibilities that he sees are, most of them involve him taking over the mansion, taking over this part of the world, and all of it becoming his own nanotech, whatever, and becoming a fight against him versus the Division to get back control of his actual body, which is that Division headquarters. And I think a lot of those situations he sees himself succeeding. But I believe the cost that he sees that comes with it is the people that he came to this mansion with, his friends, and also the werewolf clone friend that he has. They get absorbed and they become part of his essence. And he has hated being confined into a thing, into like a room, and he doesn't wish that on any of his, especially people that he cares about, and he wouldn't want to turn them into part of his being just so that he can become stronger. So I think he's going to try to stop it from affecting anyone else around him.
All right. Now it is your time. You are going to base. This is essentially your torn between moment. You can let your monstrous nature show, and perform at least one outburst as you create this nanotech being in your image. Or you can diminish your power and conform to the pressures of humanity, losing all your darkness tokens, which you don't have. So this is a fairly simple choice. You can also spend a bond with someone and describe how they directly or inadvertently help you regain control. There are going to be minor consequences for each of these, but I'm going to leave the choice up to you.
Okay. The only bond that I think I have left is the bond with the darkness, because I had two bonds with the darkness, and I used one. No, wait.
Right.
I think I have one bond left with the doctor. I think I used my bond with the darkness, but I had two bonds with the doctor, and I had one left. That's the one that I had left. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my bond with the doctor based on our conversations about how Screwdriver always wants, like, he's wanted, like, this body, he's wanted to be himself. He's wanted to live free and just be able to, exist outside of the room. And I think, based on conversations with the doctor, figuring out how people have free will and they can do things that they want to do, and they shouldn't be bound to what other people tell them, and, like, fuck the authority kind of sort of thing. So he's like, I don't want to become a nanotech. I don't want to have my nanotechnology that I've just discovered control what other people do, or like make them part of my being, because people deserve free will. Even though I'm the best superior, I know the best because I'm omniscient and everything. They still should be allowed to do things the way they want to do, even if it leads to certain doom for them. So fuck it. I will do what I can to protect myself and my friends. So that's the bond he's using.
Okay, so you are going to be confined to a single form, which is still a lot more freedom than you had before.
Yeah.
But tell us, what does this new form look like?
Oh, okay. So I think it's going to be elements from people that he's met so far. Okay, it's going to be amalgamation of everything. You see that there's this tall, like 6'5" tall, androgynous looking person. Longish hair that kind of looks similar to what like a wolf's hair would look like, werewolf's hair would look like. He's got big eyes, slightly pointed incisors, not fully pointed, but like kind of looks like a vampire, but not really. I'm going full out with this. There's the body is well built, like, muscles and shit. There's the arms are hairy-ish sort of. He's got giant ass wings at the back which can fold and retract, because fuck it, why not? He just met a dragon, and there are certain features that there's like there's this. It's not actual fire, but it's like reddish across his chest. Across their chest now, where it kind of looks like fire, but it's not really fire. It looks like flames almost, which is an homage to Simona's fire stuff. It's there's I think he's wearing a long trench coat which goes all the way down to the heels, which is a similar color to Dr. Genome's pet project. And the boots, there's leather boots, black spikes on them, and just like purple jeans, and like the face is, you can't tell, you can tell looking at the face, this is like an AI generated face, because it's not a real face, but it's still like that's what Screwdriver looks like. I'll add more when I think of more.
Sure. The thing is, you are still, as much as now you look like a corporeal being, your memory, your mind still processes things via electronic signals, and your memories are still stored in computer files that are now just inside your head with you instead of broadcasted from across the world. You notice that carried over, the one thing remaining from being carried over from your previous self to this new form is that two of the files that are in your mind, you still have Solitaire, but you now also have Minecraft.
Let's go.
However, you do see rushing towards George, two people carrying the countermeasures that will rob the breath from George's lungs and eventually take him down for good. What do you do in this
I think so. I know I gave him wings, but I don't want him to be too overpowered. So I think he doesn't know how to use the wings yet, or he doesn't know how to use the wings at all. I think it's going to be too much, and I don't want to make Apocalypse Key's god here. That's not the plan. So I think they're just going to rush straight towards George and basically grab them in like a bear hug and just literally just brute force carry them out the mansion, away from everyone. Maybe just jump out a window if we're on the second floor, just outside away from people, so that if this fire thing that George is still doing, it goes out in the sky, it doesn't affect the people. That's still the priority for Screwdriver right now.
Okay, so George is still in your new form. You're pretty big, you're fairly powerful, but the biggest of your powers are in your mind, which means strength-wise, you are going to be pushing you're pushing yourself to the limits of your powers, straining to do the extraordinary. So go ahead and roll me power through darkness.
That's on the 2d6, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no bonds or nothing, so
no darkness tokens. So yeah,
it's a 7. God damn.
It is a 7. So you grab onto this creature and you try and tug it towards the window. He simply flexes his wings and knocks you back onto the floor, and you are made painfully aware of the limits of your new form. Still much better than what you used to have, but still not far from all powerful.
Fair. Can I, while falling, accidentally knock over one of the people who are carrying the device so that they also get knocked down and they can't use it?
I will say yes. You bought yourself some time that way.
Okay,
the device is still functional. They're scrambling to get to it. Do you tell the others what it is?
Yes, I think, and he's not going to yell out because he doesn't want the guards to know he's onto them. He's just going to use his telepathic ability to be like, we can't let them use the device. It will kill George.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, a lot of things are happening at once, Simona. The tackle that Screwdriver made has basically jolted George back into his senses. That momentary stun, that opportunity you had, is now gone. And George reaches out with his long neck, and one of the caregivers who had been moving up towards him, George snaps his neck down and swallows the manhole. Simona, what do you do?
Holy shit!
Sorry. Simona was just the whole time jumping around, looking at weak spots, measuring the dragon, flexing with the swords, just like practicing the movements that she might not have done in a long time. And then as she was starting to go for a stab, this creature smashes into the dragon, and by the time that happens, like he swallowed whatever other man, and this isn't something that she wanted to happen, but it's fine. And she just goes for a stab, and just merciless stabbing as much as she can. I guess that's going to be just power through darkness.
That sounds like, if you want to take George down, yes, that would be a power through darkness.
I don't think she even hears the telepathic communication because she's just focused on the stabs. She's focused on the two swords and whatever weak points she found on the dragon, and hopefully she's going to kick his ass. Okay, she's going to use
All right,
one
go
darkness.
ahead.
She only has one darkness left.
Fair enough.
Why isn't this showing? Let me try a different one. It is a 12. I've never rolled this high in this
It's a
game.
12.
Yeah, so it's 11 plus 1 darkness, 12.
Okay. Do you happen to have 2 bond that you want to spend to reduce this to a 10, or are you accepting this result? I will tell you one thing. If you accept this result, what will happen is that you either mark a condition, or your stabbing, your fight goes perfect. You will essentially unleash all you have and end George's life right here.
Yeah, that's she let him walk once, and like this isn't a place for half measures. Elves versus dragons is not something that just ends with one side stopping. Okay, that we've had our fun. We sparred a little. No, this goes all the way. Just like either you live or you die, and this dragon is gonna fall.
All right. So you stab through his lungs. You stab through his neck. You stab through the brain, and eventually he stops trashing and begins to fall, and you with him. You in this almost berserker-like mode still have enough presence of mind to fall to your feet without much injury and land right beside him, but you are the only one close enough to hear his final words as he says, seemingly to have calmed down. There's panic now, there's fear in his eyes as he says, "Of course it would be a fae who ended me, like you ended the rest of my kind." And with that, the light goes out of his eyes. And battle is over. You see, the remaining caregivers are, and you guys haven't noticed this because most of your attention was on the dragon and then the dramatic return of Screwdriver. But a lot of the monsters in the dining hall have also been acting out in their own ways, and they are now clapped in handcuffs, struggling against them, being led away from the dining hall. Some of them are not in handcuffs, but in full-on electronic straitjackets of a kind that seem to be sparking as they struggle against them. In fact, one of your former friends, the vampire, Ruth, is one of the creatures snarling and being taken away by Mercy's caregivers.
Simona is just like, yeah, sheathing the swords, looking over the body, like picks up a dragon tooth or something like that, and looks over her clothes and what state they're in. Are they burning or what's going on?
Your clothes aren't burnt, but obviously in the back, where your powers unleashed in the presence of a dragon, they're completely burned, and you took some of it away to unleash your true form. But yeah, you're gonna have to. There are plenty of fallen people lying around whose shirts or jackets you can borrow. your hood is still intact. You've definitely had that made of more durable material for fights like this. But yeah, you'll have to borrow something to make sure you're properly covered. You do overhear two of the caregivers talking. Wasn't that? Yes, he was. And the other says, the last of the dragons.
She's at that moment. I think she would use the time and look for a clue, grasp a key.
Okay. In this moment, interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, just 2d6.
Yeah.
That's a 9.
Okay, that is that's a good roll. Pretty much just what you need. So with a 9, you get grasping keys. You uncover a key, and the keeper will tell you what it is. In this moment, what the key is. Let's look at our list here.
We
So
mentioned.
tell me how you are
was,
grasping for keys.
Yeah, you mentioned that a photograph was off on the wall just before the fight started, and she would like stand next to the mirror. Next to that photo, there's probably like a mirror or a glass that reflects her vision. So she's trying to, put on new clothes and straighten her hair out and whatnot. Pocket or put a tooth in a bag. And stuff like that, and then notices the photo again.
Well, you see the photo, and what you see is a picture of Esther hanging around just a group of people. And while in itself this is nothing that's so odd, you look at the plaque just below the painting. This painting comes from 1806. Which is when Mercy was first founded. And there you see Esther standing there with, and it is a spitting an image of Esther. You've been around immortals and seen enough immortal pictures to know the difference between someone who resembles someone from the past and someone who is there. And Esther was clearly there in this photograph.
Esther looks pretty young, right?
Esther looks fairly young, early 30s, I would say.
But I've also seen Esther younger when she was a child when I was last year.
This is true. When you were here when you saw Esther as a child.
So this might not be Esther. That's just going through Simona's head.
You're not You're not entirely sure what it means.
She's a phoenix, obviously.
Obviously.
I think during the chaos, Strudai was just going to kneel down next to George, and just put his hand on what's left of his shoulder and use his newly found nanotechnology abilities to absorb some part of the fabric that George was wearing, and also a little bit, and also grab a tooth like Simona did and turn that into the nanobots as well, or like absorb it into their essence. So a part of George is still alive in Screwdriver in a way.
Okay, this is going to be an interesting new use of your powers. I want you to roll me another power through darkness.
Let's go. It's a 5.
It is a 5. So what happens is your nanobots start reaching out and spreading. Little yellow and black metallic things start spreading throughout this. The sound of it is like dropping 1,000 needles onto a ceramic floor as they begin to spread throughout this dragon, and then pull back into you, and then spread out again in waves, going in and out and in and out. It devours George's shoulder, and then starts to spread to his wing, and then down his arms, and then start slowly moving up his elongated dragon neck, devouring scale by scale. And you realize these nanomachines are not preserving anything of what George was. They're just converting his body into more mass for you. And the more mass you have, the more free your mind is. But of George, nothing remains. It is...
Oh, fuck.
Do you stop these nanobots or let them continue?
Oh, he's gonna stop them. This was not the intention. This was not what he wanted to do. They wanted to do.
There are now aching, like a cookie that has had a large bite taken out of it. There are just more gaping wounds left in what remains of George.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. He's just gonna take like 2-3 steps back, stumble over their newly created body, and just fall flat on their ass. And oh, no. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Screwdriver is having what looks like the beginnings of a panic attack, even though they do not know what that is. Oh, no. I fucked up.
Yes. I would say you gave into your curiosity and reached where you shouldn't. You definitely gain darkness tokens for this.
Gave them anxiety.
How many?
As many as you like, between 2 and 4. I always let the players decide.
My rolls have been shit this so far. I'm going to take all 4.
All right, 4 darkness tokens for you.
So, Dr. Genome, it's not just your fault. It's inevitable when you become a teenager. You kind of have to turn into a goth, at least for a couple of nights.
All my abominations do.
All right. You now, those of you who might be looking around in the aftermath of this, especially you, Simona, as you're grasping for keys, you see Esther herself walk into the room. And one of the Mercy's caregivers sort of you see them updating her on the situation, and she nods and she nods. And she walks right up to Screwdriver and puts her hand on your shoulder. Screwdriver, you immediately feel it tingle as your nanobots start slowly the process of eating her hand.
Yeah, he's just gonna flinch and just don't touch me. I don't want to hurt anyone else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to say thank you. To all of you. And she looks over at around the 2 of you. Oh, where's your other? Oh no! And you see that Delphia has been knocked out, hit by one of George's wings early on in the fight, and she's still unconscious. So Esther immediately says, "Get them to the medical wing immediately. Get her there." Wow, what a goodness! What happened? George was always so sweet and kind, and I just don't understand what happened.
Environmental stressors can take a lot out of someone, especially when they're fighting their true nature tooth and nail. And I think like Dr. Grayson is just like holding himself together because he's so like mind racing, trying to figure out what to do next. He's like seeing people being taken away in straitjackets and he's freaking out about it. And like George just like dying wigged him out and accidentally kind of, but also not accidentally turning Screwdriver into the like nascent god form where they have this new capacity to harm, I think mind is racing. And it's just like, I clearly am not going to tolerate this, like, facsimile of, like, a caregiver that Esther is trying to be right now.
Just
Um,
George. Oh, George was the least stressed of any of us. Go ahead, Simona.
yeah, I was just wondering two things. Would Simona be able to pocket the photo or the whole the frame and everything, or just the photo?
It is a very large portrait. You wouldn't really be able. So what you would do is, let's see, you borrowed a jacket from someone who was, sort of collapsed on the ground, right?
Yeah.
What you would is actually no. The only it's too big. It's too bulky.
Too big.
The only thing you could really do is use your tower of isolation here, real quick. Just a quick interdimensional portal. That would be right now the best way to sort of pocket to keep that photo separate. The thing is, this photo's been up here for, well, ever since you were here, and that was well over a decade ago.
No,
So
that's not.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not what she would use it for. Just this photo. It's been here. It's not gonna go up in flames now. The dragon is dead.
That's fair. Yeah.
But she's looking closely at Esther, and she says, "I think it's time I spoke to Principal Smith." And she specifically doesn't say your father, but Principal Smith. Once more. And she's just going to go walking towards his rooms, and hopefully everybody follows her. Or if he's not nearby. If he's nearby, then yeah.
Yeah. Esther calls out and says, "Oh, he's not in his offices or in his rooms. He's in the panic room."
I know what the
I
panic
need
room
you
is.
to.
That coward.
This is actually the very first time you have ever heard of the existence of a panic room.
Okay.
He just
So
ran and
that
hid like a
makes-
little chicken. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that makes Simona stop, and she's following Esther.
Mm-hmm. Did you say that out loud, Screwdriver?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just look, you must appreciate not all of us are as hardy as creatures like yourselves. We I mean, we've lost one of our own in this attack, while all you monsters came away relatively unscathed, except for poor George. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I sift the facts?
Yes, you can.
Cool. I want to find out what is being concealed here.
Okay.
I ticked off a condition earlier when I stayed in the dragon's line of sight. Can I use that darkness?
Yes.
Ooh. +1 is 9. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and ask 2 questions from your unique Sift the Facts list.
One of them was what is being concealed here.
Okay.
And the other, I would like to... Maybe... I don't think so. Just based on the environment that we've seen so far and kind of like where we were at, is there a way that I can maybe remember the events leading up to George like turning and ask what caused this?
Absolutely. Yes. So you will recall when you were first investigating the body, a moment of soundlessness that filled you with a certain contempt, a certain feeling of rage, especially disgust towards humanity. Just before George turned, you felt that happen again. And you remember that before Amit died, who is also walking beside you, by the way, throughout this, he's looking pretty beat up about George's death, but hasn't said anything. But yeah, you recall that Amit felt nothing but mindless rage and disdain for humanity before he was killed. So whatever this soundlessness is, whatever this wave is what pushed George straight over the edge. That would definitely be what caused this. What caused the wave itself is something you're not quite sure of, but it definitely. Let's see. You're a scientist. You're a doctor, and you rolled really well. It's something that directly feeds into the mind. Yeah. Sorry. You want to say something?
Can I make a guess? Can I make just like a quick try?
You can do better than a guess. You can draw a line between a key and a facet of the mystery and declare an irrevocable truth about the mystery. Whatever you declare is fact.
Okay, is the energy that's being generated by these monsters, is that a correlation to the anger that's being fed into the environment? Like the energy that they're harnessing, is that like a direct result of like the anger and the hatred of humanity? Is that part of like the energy that's being generated?
If you wanted to clear, so that can be your guess. But and I can tell you more about that. But if you want to make that an irrevocable truth, you can just state that as a fact, and I will adjust accordingly.
I feel like to even like a small extent, maybe there is like some like bleed over that is like causing like some causality to like having energy siphoned away from you and then being like made to feel this like hatred towards humanity, the thing that has you kind of held up in this place.
Okay. So,
That was all the way up.
let me fill you in on the other question you asked before you draw a line from a key to a facet of the mystery, which is what is purposefully being concealed here. Do you say your theory out loud, or any parts of it?
I don't want Esther to hear me.
Okay, you did speak earlier about environmental pressures leading to sin. Do you want to sort of expound on that theory as you're walking and talking a little bit?
Did Screwdriver tell us about like the energy siphoning that they witnessed?
Yeah, that's my question
I
as well.
think so.
We haven't had a lot of time, but
Yeah, I think that would have been the first thing that he told the party the minute he came back. There's some weird freaky shit going on. They're absorbing powers, and I tried to help one of them, but it backfired. But then it helped. I don't know. But they're kind of convincing them that they don't need their powers and using those powers to sell electricity to the town. It's like a whole thing. I don't know if it's actually helping or not, but they seem to be okay with it, at least on the face value. I'm not sure if they actually are okay with it. And also Esther just gives me the creeps. I don't like the vibes at all. It's just that smile is something wrong. There's something hiding behind that smile for sure. I don't know what it is yet.
Felt heard.
Okay, so
this was all telepathic, right?
Oh yeah.
So, Doctor, you have worked with various kinds of energy before. One of your teammates, in fact, gives off a unique energy that you have studied. And you are aware that amongst Omen class monsters, or even amongst lower class monsters, as long as they are not created out of pure technology, the monsters in particular, the people whom these surges of energy come off from an inherent ability, energy is not the only thing they give off. It's never clean energy. It's always associated with something of the occult. and machines can easily draw away the physical energy of it, the power, but the occult, the emotions associated with it, the magic and the darkness associated with that needs to go somewhere. And from what you can gather of Screwdriver's descriptions of the lab, there's nothing that is siphoning away the darkness. Power's being siphoned, darkness, where's it going? So at this point, you can, and if you have access to the mystery, you should be able to look at the mystery map here. I'll share the link in our super secret special chat that our viewers don't get to see here. You have discovered 4 keys so far, and you have 4 facets of the mystery. Sifting the facts, what it allows you to do is basically connect one of these keys to one of the facets of the mystery, and in doing so, declare an irrevocable truth about this mystery. All this, of course, this conjecture happening in your head as you are walking towards, basically as Esther is guiding you all past, somewhere on the ground floor, a little bit past some of the sections that were previously used as sort of like a storeroom, have now been renovated, and she leads you to those passages and then down beyond, as there's a sub-basement that's been apparently built since that you haven't seen before, Simona, that is leading towards the panic room.
So we're all
That
going
makes
down?
Simona's hair stand up. Just like getting cornered into the sub basement. Who is coming with us?
So Amit is coming with you guys, and Screwdriver, Dr. Genome, and their creation, and of course yourself, and Esther.
Just us, nobody else. Okay.
Is there a wheelchair ramp that goes down the stairs as well, or down to the basement? Sub-basement?
There is, yes.
Okay, so I think Screwdriver is going to take the first set of stairs down, and he's just looking at Dr. Genome and Simona, and he's just clunkily. How do you work these things? How does this? What are legs even? And I think if you'll give me the liberty, DM, I'm going to. Screwdriver is going to manifest wheels under his feet, like those wheelie shoes, and for the rest of the time, just gingerly holding onto the railing as he slowly slides down the wheelchair ramp, because there is no way he's taking the stairs. He doesn't know how to use his legs yet.
Yeah, most of your movement is happening in your forearms as you hold onto the railing and keep yourself from falling. Yes.
Something world-shattering just occurred to me.
Uh-huh.
Screwdriver has like this humanoid physique now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Where is Minecraft?
Oh, there's a giant ass screen still in the center of his chest. It is still there. It is still there. There is like you can take the monster away from the tablet, but you can't take the tablet away from the monster. It's literally just how wide do you think it's just like a 15-inch screen now instead of a tablet? Yeah.
In fact, it should be a tablet, because you want to, with your new physique, you want to take it out of your chest and then play with it and then put it back in.
Oh, even better, yes. And it's connected with the wire, so it stays charged all the time. I love it. Yes.
You're moving, you're constantly moving. That is generating electricity as well. So,
yeah, and also, if I think you're muted, or if I don't hear you, I was thinking like we can talk about this later, but like if he gets tired of actually using his legs, he can just pull out the tablet, switch it to Minecraft, and when he moves in Minecraft, he's actually moving in real life.
Good.
Oh, that's doable.
Or just give someone else the tablet to carry around, and you're inside the tablet.
Yeah. Someone just
Sport-
once again controls your motor functions while you just simply focus
Vibe.
on the psychic stuff. Yeah, so Doctor Dr. Genome, have you figured out which key you're connecting to which facet of the mystery yet?
I think, as much as I want to make like a big sweeping statement right here and kind of tie something, I think the one that most makes sense to me in this moment, I think that whatever is going on, whatever they're using the occult for, whatever they're taking that energy and like actually utilizing it for, whether it's for like a serving somebody in an actual purpose or not, I think what the original like steps of the ritual are bound in the Fae bound book.
Okay. So the Fate-bound book, whose answers you haven't quite figured out yet, as the letters jumble themselves out. You're connecting that to the source of power that is regressing Mercy's residence.
Do whatever ritualistic purpose they have for the occult power, the extra like sifted off the top occult energy that isn't going anywhere, I think they're trying to use it for something, and whatever it is, like whatever ritual it is, its origins can be found in the Feybound book.
Okay. All right. We have one key connected to one facet so far. As a reminder, to solve this mystery, you're going to have to connect all 4 facets to at least one key and come up with an overarching theory before you roll. But we are 1/4 of the way there. Well done.
Just wanted to confirm the door of power. Have we learned what that is yet, or did I just completely miss?
You do not entirely understand that. You have to figure out what exactly the door of power is.
Okay.
And what the door of power is essentially is going to be whatever it is that unleashes the apocalypse. What is the door that turns a normal world into one in which the world as we know it is going to end? It could be a person, it could be a type of power, it could be an ancient ritual that the likes of which you do not understand. It could just be energy from beyond in a new form. It could be any number. The door could be anything.
Okay.
But the Harbinger is definitely a person. All right. With the as you finish your conjecture and with Screwdriver slowly making their way down the stairs, Esther leads you to a large steel door. Presses in a number, and the door opens up, and you see Reverend Smith sitting inside, just sort of watching various parts of the mansion, all on screens. He stands up as you enter, and he goes, "I see George has been dealt with."
Hey, preacher.
You look crushed about it.
I tell these creatures every day that the fight against their inner selves is never ceasing. We all thought George was safe. We thought he had put his monstrous ways behind him for good. But I always knew that danger could rear its head once more, and well, what more proof do we need? Hopefully this serves as a reminder to our residents and to agents like yourselves.
And this is the first time.
Never too far. This is the first time?
It's the first time that he's been face to face with Simona since she's come back. So she's staring him down, and waiting for her turn to speak. So yeah.
He
As she
seems a
stares
lot
him
more
down.
confident now that yeah. With Delphia not in the room, who's the previous person to have really intimidated him, he seems to have gotten a bit of his swagger back. But he does pause, seeing that you're about to say something.
Where did you send Esther off to? She's just looking at him.
I'm sorry.
At his relationship to the woman in the room, and also to the question. Like she's trying to get his reactions completely, like bore into his soul.
Okay. This sounds like, let's see. So right now, what you're getting is confusion. Just pure confusion. He says, "What do you mean?"
This isn't Esther. Is she still alive?
Of course, this is Esther. She's right here. Esther, tell them you're. Are you all right?
What does Esther do?
And Esther just sort of shrugs. They're at the moment not giving away anything.
I don't know that I have a move for this, but just like, is the telepathic connection with Screwdriver both ways, or is it just one way for us?
You could. I'm pretty sure that if you reached out mentally, Screwdriver would hear you.
I would just tell him to position himself between the door and the two people that are in the room with us, so that they have a harder time leaving.
Screwdriver is just gonna sigh. You can hear him sigh even in your mind. It's like, oh, you want me to use my legs? Fine. He's just gonna walk over to the door and just stand there with like his arms crossed, trying to look as buff as possible.
And you do indeed look very buff, despite the fact that there's a bright, sunny Minecraft scene just sort of playing out on your chest.
I go into the creative mode in Minecraft to make it start raining.
Yeah, I guess I could unleash the dark
Right,
here.
Another move you could make is ashes to ashes, possible.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, yeah. So there are several options here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so it sounds like you have an idea what to do. So go ahead and give me that ashes to ashes roll. Tell me how the wisdom of your people might help in this situation.
I think he would see a fractured memory in Esther's face, because she's not a human; she's a monster. She knows. Simona knows that Esther is not a human daughter or a child that she's known a long time ago. So that's what she's going for as she stares her down. Yeah. Let's see what I roll. I don't have any more darkness tokens, though. I guess
I will say, even if she is human, the definition of monster is flexible.
I do want to go back to darkness a little bit, because I think I embodied a condition that affected me when I killed the dragon. So because I was merciless.
Okay. Right.
So I would get 100%, like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have +4 darkness here because there was death involved. And I'm asking someone to tell me of their past. So I think that gives me another darkness, at least 2. So I think how much darkness can I have? Maximum of 5?
Yes. So, but you're spending 2. You need to spend at least 2 immediately. Yeah.
Immediately, yeah. So I'll take the 5 and then spend 3. Spend 2 on the on this roll of ashes to ashes.
Okay.
So that's going to be +2.
Sure, that'll leave you with
2.
4 darkness tokens, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled an 8, so +2 is 10.
Just perfect. All right, go ahead and ask your questions.
Yeah, what is the memory that I see in Esther's face? And I will declare what that memory is and gain 1 bond with this NPC. That's interesting. What kind of a bond we could make?
Oh, that is interesting. So here's what you see. You see Esther dying on the grounds of the mansion. You don't know when this is. You don't know how long ago this is, but you feel her. You see a large, hairy, werewolf-like creature gutting her, and then running away towards the hedge maze, which is outside in the gardens around the estate. As she lies bleeding, you see more people come and try to help her, and then you see from basically the styles, the clothing, the fashions. This is very, very a very long time ago. As people are coming to attend her, in fact, you recognize some of those faces from the photo of the founders. And she passes. Darkness closes upon her. And then the darkness expands as you see a memory of her waking up again. You see her look down into the hands of a child, and looking up, and you see someone who could be the Reverend Smith's father, but from what you gather looking around, it's still a very, very long time ago. This is possibly some distant ancestor, as he says. Esther, we brought you back, but it was with cost. Your body has, well, it is new. I'm told that you will likely forget some of what you knew. But you are blessed, my child. You have been born again in the most complete way possible. And the memory fades again. And you see Esther dying once more. And then once more reawakening as another person, younger this time, but still wearing a reverend's collar, a different reverend this time, saying, I was told by Dad that this would happen. I didn't quite believe it, but sister, I mean, I guess, I mean, we're gonna have to take a vacation, and you're gonna have to pretend to be my daughter. But you have risen again. Wow, how are you feeling? Before the Esther in your memory can respond, time shifts again, and you see death after death, and she's terrified of it every single time. In fact, the fear worsens because she knows it is coming. And she knows that every time she dies, no matter what she has gained in this lifetime, she loses a part of herself. It is fractured memories of deaths and births and deaths and births. And even though you're reaching out, there seems very little emotional connect to the lives that are in between. She's caught in this cycle of death and rebirth. And with each new life given and each new life taken away, the fear increases until she buries it down. You gain one more question from that list. Or one more thing from that list.
And I have bond with her.
You do have a bond with her, yes. One bond with Esther.
I think the first one, recall ancient knowledge. I think the elves would know a lot about birth and rebirth, and and that is very interesting to to Simona, just like how do you bring back all of these, anyone, especially elves. So yeah, she would definitely ask the keeper. I'll ask the keeper about ancient knowledge, and you have to answer me honestly and with great detail. Maybe post it in chat. And we can screenshot it for post production or something.
No. This is something I'm fine with. I feel that you would not. I mean, player knowledge versus character knowledge. If you choose not to share this, that is, everyone else can act like they don't know. But I feel like people watching in the chat might not respond well to 15 minutes of silence as I type this out. So, you want to know specifically how this is done?
Yeah,
How this revert happens?
I think that would be something, either something that Simona would learn by like gaining these memories from this child, because Esther in one of her lives probably did look into it or asked what the descendants of her of the people who brought her back knew about this thing. So either I learn it from Esther, or I get this deeper knowledge of the elves. I'm not sure how.
So you've always suspected that in order to bring your people back, humanity must fall. And seeing these fractured memories and glimpses of her rebirth, you get a confirmation of that in what might be the worst or most useful way possible. Cloning a body is relatively easy. As the good Dr. Genome would probably tell you at any point of time, the tricky part is imbuing that flesh with a soul, with spirit, with something that can hold together cohesively. And one of the things that holds a body or confines it to one form is trauma, is pain, is darkness. Every time she was brought back, it came at the expense of another. You don't know the specific details, but you know tremendous pain, tremendous fear, and tremendous darkness was caused. Sacrifices were made to people's psyches to bring her back and to animate her new form, to keep her spirit from moving on, and to confine it to a single body and house it there. To bring any of your people back would require an immense amount of darkness. In addition to the basic scientific component of cloning, or even a magical component of recreation. It's the binding of the soul that really matters here. You're fairly certain that the doctor could make 1,000 clones of you right now, but to make them alive, to really bring your people back, that's going to require an apocalypse's worth of darkness.
Okay.
Esther, however, is unaware. Yeah. Esther is unaware of any of this. She just sees you staring at her in a bit. She goes, "I'm sorry. Do you have something to say?"
I don't know what Simona would do. She's already said some things. Can she read? This is not part of the move, but can Simona read Esther and what she wants in this moment?
So, in this moment, she just kind of just wants you to go about your business. She has no idea what you have just discovered, what connection you've made with her mind. That bond at the moment goes only one way until you reveal to her what you know about her. As far as she's concerned, she was just having a conversation. You made some weird accusation about her not being human. She clearly is giving you the benefit of the doubt, and it is wondering if you're stressed or overworked or something. She just wants to get back to work, and you came here to interrogate, Reverend Smith. So, go ahead. Is basically the thing in mind. It's like, I'm not sure what this is, but can we get back to work? We have bigger things to focus on, is what her body language is saying to you.
And Reverend Smith is pretty non-committal as well. He's not revealing anything.
Well, now that you know, you can see that he's... At first you just thought it was him being strict, but you can see that he's clearly clamping down on a secret that you have provided no evidence for. Earlier you were grasping at straws. You had no idea what was what. And the best thing to do in that situation is deny.
Yeah. Simona would just shake her head and sit down in the chair, look at her like fingers, her hands, and just never mind. Can you? I'm too tired for this shit. I need to go to sleep. And just
Right.
she's just gonna go quiet.
You all wanted to rest. Let me get someone to lead you to your rooms. In fact, you can see it from here. And she points. There's a big map of the entire mansion, and she points to to just one spot that. And as she touches it, the screen lights up with a path from how you can get from where you are to the rooms you'll be staying in. She goes, "Yeah, just follow that route. Screwdriver. I'm sure you'll be able to memorize this real quick. Yeah, just follow that route. You'll get to your rooms. They've been prepared for you. You've all had an awfully long day." And Reverend Smith looks like he's about to speak, and she whips her head at him and she says, "Isn't that right, Father? Isn't it best if they just go to their rooms and rest?" And he just goes, "I suppose so." I will see you in the morning. And with that, he sits back down and turns back to look at his screen. And he is... And with that, you are apparently dismissed. Esther stays with him. You are free to go as you...
The doctor makes a beeline back to...
Oh, before you go, Esther says, Doctor, one more thing. In case you're not feeling that up to resting, I know you science types stay up all hours of the night. I wanted to let you know. And she tosses you a key card with your name on it. Feel free to use our labs for anything you might need. There's one right over here, and she taps the map again, and then there's a route that lights up that shows how you can get there.
Just try and stop me. Thank you.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Line back towards the dining area where George's body is.
And on the way there, I think telepathically, Simona would tell you everything that she found out because the photos there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to assume that we can't trust anybody here. Not that we had to begin with, but we are not working with this.
Do you include Amit in this telepathic conversation?
No. How can we? He doesn't even have brain cells.
Ghost brain.
I think if the others, I think Screwdriver would want to tell him, so he's gonna make an argument for it telepathically with the others, just to be like, we're trying to solve his murder. I feel like he should know what we're doing, what we're trying to figure out. I think maybe we tell him.
And I will make the distinction between minds and brains. And what Screwdriver can reach out to are definitely minds.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, what kind of a reaction? This is, again, Simona is asking this of the doctor and the Screwdriver. what kind of a reaction would you have if you found out that we last, or something else, something even worse, was created by his death?
I can't speak to the reaction itself, but these people are victims here. They're going to catch on. They're going to cotton on eventually.
I'm too tired.
As you near the dining hall, have you told Amit about anything yet? You can hold it off for now. But as you get near the dining hall, you see a lot of caregivers are walking in and out. Some of them carrying out large sealed bags.
People die?
What Amit says to you is, he says some people did die, yes, in George's attack, and not just the person he swallowed whole. But yeah, Amit says as soon as he sees those bags, he's like, "You guys go ahead. I remember how they deal with monsters of George's size. I can't watch. I'll be here." And he takes a seat inside the sort of large lounge area just outside the dining room.
Doctor takes a deep breath. That's your decision. I'm going to see it for myself. Takes like a pair of gloves out, four gloves out, and just starts putting gloves on all of his hands. And he walks in. And I wanted to ask something because we didn't address this, but after the last session, we tallied up at the end, and I ended up with a total of 4 XP for something.
Yeah.
And is it cool that I used like the 2 XP to take another playbook move?
So what happens with that? It's not 2 XP gets you another playbook move. It's after you do a total of, hold on, let me just quickly check here. It's hold on. It's after getting about 5 or 6. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6, but after getting a total of 8 XP, you get to choose one of your advances. The reason that there are 2 squares next to that is because you can take some of those advances twice. So where it says, for example, take a new playbook move, you can take 2 new playbook moves instead of needing 2 XP to fill that. What you need is you get 8 experience and you get to advance, and you get to choose any one of those advances.
I historically misunderstood that.
That is fine. You just keep that playbook move in another font, or like in something for now for you to remember later when you do get 4 XP.
Okay, but even still, entering the cafeteria again, I would like to kind of approach George's body.
That is when as soon as you enter the cafeteria, is when you immediately realize why Amit stayed out. There are about a dozen caregivers here with large hand saws and chainsaws, slowly tearing what is left of George's body apart. A large chunk of it was taken away by screwdriver. Almost half of it is gone now, including the head. It is just the lower half of his body that remains, as chunks of his body are sawed off, placed into bags, and taken away and rolled out by the caregivers on trolleys.
Too late here, but
Okay.
I will. I want to start to take whatever I can and start to build an abomination.
Okay.
out of George.
Okay. Tell me what you need for that. Let's see. On your character sheet, there is. What do you? I believe this. You don't have a specific move for this at the moment. So this is just basically going to be. Tell me what you're trying to create.
The thing is, I hear what Simona says. You just can't bring someone back. But the doctor doesn't hear. The doctor is like, but what if I'm the mind that does it? What if I am the mind that can do that? So, of course, I can fashion together the likeness of George, and George's soul can't just be gone. There has to be something there. So I'm just going to start to fashion together, just kind of like take out my own tools and just kind of like, for as much as I feasibly can, I think there are maybe like 2 of these caregivers just like kind of like doing whatever work they're doing, and all 4 of the doctor's arms just like push them aside and is like trying to take whatever I can and just like sequester this around and start to take like bits of circuitry and technology and wiring, and then just kind of like whatever like bits and pieces that I can to fashion together some kind of like a minor clone, like a clone like of George.
Okay. The caregivers are immediately going to try to stop you. They're like, whoa! You can't be doing that. This is Mercy's jurisdiction. You can't. I'm gonna have to ask you to step away.
Everybody, be cool. I'm a doctor. This is what I went to school for. This is why I'm here. I was brought on as a special task force to do exactly the work that I do. This is what I'm here for.
This would be, I would say, socially trying to enforce your will on someone. Go ahead and unleash the dark to convince them to let you do what you're doing.
8.
8. All right, choose 2.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to put it in the chat?
Use the dark.
A sec. It's either you get. Hold on, give me a second, and there you go. Super secret chat powers activate.
Okay. I would like to get what I want from them, which is just for them to get out of my way.
Sure.
And I would also like to I think in doing this, I see an opportunity to get past their defenses.
Okay.
And I know that this would inflict a condition, but I think I'm happy to do that because I know that they're wearing like this kind of armor, and it's like a technologically fashioned armor. And I also just like, by getting past their defenses, I want to like maybe have like one of my little bug hands just kind of like short circuit something to see if I can identify a weakness on the armor itself, just for future reference.
So this would be get past their. I would say that you figure out exactly. You don't short circuit them out at the moment, but your little bugs, your little things, you get past their defenses enough to know exactly what frequency you would need. You need to spend like an hour on a little device, but you could short circuit their armor pretty easily.
Cool.
And with that, and you suddenly remember in the midst of this that you also have a badge authorizing you. You do that. You show that around. You wave that around. You throw your authority around enough that by the time you show them the badge, they're convinced. They're willing to assist you if necessary. At this moment,
Like,
we're sorry, doctor.
Of course. I also have like the homunculus and the baby Bjorn. I have like my creature, and I'm just like, please, my son is sleeping. Everybody, just get out of my way.
Actually, Baby Bjorn has woken up at this moment. As soon as you enter the hall, and he has been watching everything quiet, with an awareness in his eyes that was not there before.
Okay, I don't quite think that you're like ready, but I think that this is fine. This is an awake state that I think is okay for now. So long as you don't try to move or orient yourself in any way, I am your caretaker, and I will be the one moving you around. Okay, this is fine. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm not biting off more than I can chew. I'm being absolutely normal. And I'm just like, gonna keep like hacking away at George and like
Normal.
Also, okay. Yes, normal. Normal. Everything is normal. Everything is so normal. But I'm going to make a creature out of the remains of George.
Okay, with this, I think this would be powering through darkness. It's definitely within your power set. But given the limited materials you have at the moment, you're definitely sort of pushing your abilities to the limit.
You think?
I think so. Okay. Darkness. Okay. Okay. An 8.
An 8, okay. On an 8 to 10, you use your powers with great precision and effort, changing the situation before you. Additionally, the Keeper may offer you a reprieve, a golden opportunity, or a bond with someone. So, you create a tiny little 3-foot-high, half scaled, half mechanical little clone of George. And the creature moves about and looks around and blinks a little bit. I assume you also put in like sort of basic programming for mental awareness. You've had to like regrow a brain in this creature, and it looks up at you, and there's no recognition.
Can I? They took George's head away.
Yeah.
If I found, do you think that I could find that, or do you think that they just like? Can I like go looking for it so I can like access his brain?
It would be in the lab, yes. That you have been given access to, yeah.
Great. I'm going to like. I have this horrible child, and now I'm going to pick up the George clone. And I'm just going to be like, I'll be in the lab.
Mm-hmm. So I will give you, this would be the golden opportunity I'm going to give you. You're going to be able to access the brain and put some of George's memories and mind back into this creature. However, before you're able to leave the dining hall, there's a sudden flare of soundlessness.
Again.
Stronger than anything you've ever felt before. In fact, this seems to actually make the air thicker, and you're having trouble moving through it. And as this happens, all three of you, you gain. Give me a second. You gain 3 darkness tokens as you feel a whisper, an urge, a command to believe that mortals are weak and petty vermin, and they should know their place. I believe with the gaining of 3 darkness tokens, this pushes 2 of you over the edge, if I'm not wrong.
Simona, definitely, yep.
No, I have 7 now.
All right, so
Simona
we
is
are
6.
going to pause right there. Yes, we're going to pause there and take a short 10-minute break and come back and deal with the fallout. In the meantime, your Doomsday Clock gains another tick. We will see you all back here in 10 minutes.
And we're back.
Hello, Internet. We have returned, and we have brought with us a Denver. Before we get to where Denver has been, Amir, I believe there is a scene you wanted to do just as the doctor was making her their mini clone of George.
That's not Simona's interest at all. Like building bodies is not something that she's prioritizing now. She is looking at living bodies though, and wants to look at any of the caretakers that are walking around dragging other dead ones, and if she can recognize any of them from the photo where she saw that Esther is more than 200 years old. Or anyone else, anything else suspicious looking.
So you don't. All the rest of the photos are standard photos of just most of the staff that are there, just like that founding photo was. But you don't see any other instances of either Esther showing up or people who look similar showing up in different photos from different eras. Apparently, either things have been monitored very closely, or someone's done a bit of a cover-up.
But I was specifically talking about the people that are walking around that I trying to see if they're acting suspiciously.
None of them are really acting. None of the caregivers are acting anything out of the ordinary for what they would be, while very slowly dissecting the corpse of a very giant dragon.
Okay.
While you are considering that, however, is when a wave of this soundlessness hits you, and you are filled with that disdain. But first, we will go to Denver. Delphia. Your character wakes up in a medical ward of some sort. You look around and you see there are many monsters like yourself. Some who are still unconscious, some who appear to be badly burned. And all of you are strapped down to the beds. And as you wake up, before you can really process it, there's a wave of soundlessness. And unlike the previous wave, this one actually makes the air thicker. And you feel hatred, a disdain. You feel an urge, a whisper, a command to believe that mortals are weak and petty vermin, and they should know their place. You gain 3 darkness tokens. Does that put you over the edge?
That does not. But it brings me very close.
It does put several other people in this medical bay over the edge as they snarl and howl and fight against their restraints. But you hear a beep beep, and the restraints tighten amongst them. And the few caregivers that are in this room immediately file out, single file out of this room, almost like they're following some sort of fire alarm procedure, and the door shuts behind. We will get back to you in a second. Screwdriver and Sofina. Why do I keep Simona? I don't know why I keep doing that. Simona, you both have torn between moments. You are feeling completely out of control, or like you want to be out of control. You each have 3 choices. Let your monstrous nature show and describe the damage your outburst causes and mark one ruin. You can describe how you diminish your power and conform to the pressures of humanity and lose all of your darkness tokens. Or you can spend a bond with someone and describe how they directly or inadvertently help you regain control. We'll start with you, Simona.
She still has plenty of bonds.
Mm-hmm.
But with nobody who is like in the vicinity right now, probably. So Dr. Genome.
It doesn't need to be with someone in the vicinity, just just someone who gives you a flashback or something you remember about them that helps you, yeah.
Okay, so she would spend the bond with Dr. Genome because they did talk about in the past how they can build bodies, build the clones. The something that's why she wasn't interested in what they were doing with Dragon the George, because she already knew this kind of like procedure and what it is a path to what she wants, which is bringing more elves back. But she was missing this element of how to bind elven souls to these bodies that Dr. Genome was creating with such ease and flair and just not very beautiful, but still easy. And yeah, I think she would spend the bond on this, and because that centers her. She knows the path now. She's not afraid. She has no trepidations about sacrificing a lot of humans to bring elves back. But this isn't the time for it, because whatever happens here is going to destroy the world, not just and destroy her opportunity or destroy her situation to actually do what she wants to do.
Okay. So you keep all your darkness tokens, which means you are centered, but you're still very much on edge. You feel like the slightest thing could set you off. You are your nerves are frayed and you're at the edge of your patience. Screwdriver, what about you?
Okay, so I don't have any bonds left. I've used up most of them, and I haven't had time to regain any of them. So I think. So I was thinking. I don't know if this actually factors into this, but when he got his body and everything, would it be fair to say that he got the confused condition because he doesn't know how this shit works? The nanobots are also very new to him.
That's absolutely fair. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how that factors into this, but I think because of the confusion and this rage that is building inside him, I think he's going to give in to the monster inside.
Okay.
And the best part, or the not so whatever part of the whole thing is, Screwdriver doesn't need to breathe. So the device that they have to shut him down is not going to work. It's almost as if I planned it. I did not. Yeah. So I think what's going to happen is he's just going to fall to his knees under the immense pressure of everything that's happening. His wings are going to grow like 6 feet in wingspan, and everything that the wings touch, everything that his hands are touching, is going to start getting converted into the nanotechnology thing that he anything organic, basically. That's
okay.
Yeah.
It starts. There's a wave. When does it stop? How far does it go before you stop absorbing everything around you?
I think as long as the wave, he can hear the wave, he just gives into the instinct. He's like, and this is not a conscious decision. He cannot help it.
Okay. So the wave starts consuming everything. And it's this thing. It starts consuming the chairs, the tables, the walls around it. One or two people, one person, one of the caregivers starts running away from this expanding radius, the sphere of pure consuming nanotechnology that's feeding into you. And they trip, and it eats the lower half of their leg before they manage to crawl away. One of their friends sort of lifts them and carry them even further. It starts to eat what's left of George. The rest of you would manage to get out of the way fairly easily, especially since you now have some experience in dodging gigantic winged things in this room. But Doctor, you are going to have to roll me a power to darkness, essentially, to avoid imminent danger, not for yourself, but for the mini clone you've made of George.
Also, this entire time, Screwdriver is screaming. This is something that is outside of his control, and the wingspan expanding so it doesn't expand immediately, right? It's expanding as it eats and as it grows. So it feels like he's literally being ripped apart as he grows, and there's like this high pitched, loud scream as he feels pain that he's never felt physical pain before. So this is like actual physical pain as his body literally expands to accommodate this new extension to his being.
And it's growing erratically, like it's not growing evenly. Sometimes a part of your wing will sort of spurt out big. A shoulder will get twice as large as your other shoulder. Your jaw will suddenly extend. Your teeth will grow for an amount that cannot fit them. It is excruciating, and you keep growing. Doctor, what did you roll?
I think in this moment too, I think after the wave, and because the Doctor is not like right there at that limit, he does turn back. He'll like put baby George down and like turn and like try to beeline back to where friends are. And just be like something, so like 3.
3.
Oh no.
Earlier, as when George first died, or when George, in the immediate after that of George dying, you tried to absorb a piece of George, Screwdriver, and keep a piece of him alive in you.
Yep.
You remembered what it felt like to absorb him and find that there was nothing of him left.
Yeah.
You feel that again as you absorb this abomination that the Doctor has created.
Oh no.
And that is finally what reaches into you enough to make this stop, as the soundlessness stops as well. You still have your darkness tokens. You're still on edge. You feel like anything could set you off again, but for now, you have stopped. What hasn't stopped are the howls, screams, and snarls of fury in the darkness where you, Delphia, are bound. You feel some of these things snap against the strength of some of the other monsters, and you realize that you are technically in a vulnerable position.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm going to try and get out of the restraints.
Okay. This seems like a fairly standard Unleash the Dark, as you are sort of unfortunately, basically you're enforcing your will of do not mess with me upon both the restraints and the people who might attack you.
And
Do you want to spend any darkness tokens before this roll?
I will spend 1.
Okay.
Oh. That's a 5.
Okay. Do you have at least 3 bond that you would want to spend here?
I do.
Okay.
I've got 1 with Screwdriver, I've got 2 with Simona, I've got 1 with Dr. Genome.
Okay. Tell me whose bonds you're picking and how they help you, how they strengthen you in this moment when your powers are faltering.
I'm gonna spend the 2 that I have with Simona and the 1 I've got with Screwdriver.
Okay.
Delphia is determined to get back to her friends and especially to get back to Simona. She's also wants to make sure Screwdriver is okay because she figures the doctor is more than capable of taking care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But Simona and Screwdriver are the ones she's worried about the most, so she's getting kind of desperate to get back to them.
Okay. So yeah, with that you push your 5 all the way up to an 8, spending those bonds, letting your the thoughts of your allies strengthen your abilities. Go ahead and choose 2 from the Unleash the Dark list.
I will expose a weakness or flaw and gain the upper hand for now.
Okay, so you so you pull at this thing. You tear it open. You're free, and you can see that the monsters are just all turn at you, and they start to gather around you. Some scratching at you. You feel a gouge go down in your arm. Not you don't mark a condition yet, but you are definitely hurt and bleeding. But you do see that the rage is now that the soundlessness is gone, now that you can hear everything. What was once rage is now turned into confusion, and that they are lashing out more than they are lashing out in fear and confusion more than they are in actual the rage that tempted you before it was.
Okay. She will try and get everybody calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's still strapped to the bed after they're calmed down, she's going to try and free them.
Okay.
Because she does not like seeing anybody restrained against their own will. She hates it even more for herself.
All right. In this instance, you are trying to sort of sounds like you're making a sincere connection with the people there. This is going to be a reveal your heart with what monsters remain in this room. Especially the more violent ones that are close to you and are trying to gnaw your head off.
Oh boy.
Do you spend any darkness tokens?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 this time.
Okay.
And there. That is a 10.
Perfect. All right. On an 8 to 10, your heart reaches theirs, and choose 1 from the list. If you, I'm going to paste that in chat. If you choose to make a bond with one of them, I will choose 1 particular NPC from this room for you to make a bond.
Okay. Yeah, let's do the bond.
Okay. I believe you get to choose. Oh, and let's see. you choose one from this list. Okay, so they all calm down, and one person in particular, in the darkness as the lights are flickering on ahead, this very not quite tired looking vampire, but very stressed out, very pale vampire that you recall seeing Simona talk to earlier. She says, "Thank you. I don't know what that was, but that was." All right, everyone, calm down, calm down. And she starts helping calm people down, releasing people, and she turns to you and she gives you this look of gratefulness and of just connection. She knows that you felt the same thing that she did, and there's some admiration. There's some admiration to you for overcoming it. You see a cloud of darkness a cloud of like dark particles that are in this room. She speaks that are like have filtered into the shape of a humanoid. Ruth says, Shadrach, could you go and unlock the door? The code is 64318. And you hear just some psychic buzzes as these motes of darkness just sort of filter through the keyhole, step outside, and you hear beep 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 beep. Door opens.
Just look for some keys.
Would you like to grasp keys while you are here, or on the way to meeting your? Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and make that roll and tell me how you were trying to grasp those keys.
Okay. And I will use my last darkness token on that.
Okay.
I will talk to the other monsters, see if anything like that has happened before, where they've been all of a sudden the spurts of no sound and sourceless rage.
All right. Let's see. What key would that?
That is a 9.
That is a 9. Okay. So you get your key consequence free, which is always great. What you get is one of the monsters sort of tells you about Ruth. Actually, she guides you towards the dining hall, but as she does so, she says, "Just come with me. If I don't know much about this before, but the first time this happened was about. It was a couple of weeks ago. I found out it was the same night that Amit died. But on that night, I felt it. I was wandering about, just trying to clear my head. It had been a long day, and this opened. And she pulls you into a side hallway, and pushes open a door. And you enter what appears to be what looks like to be some sort of living room type area. Only it's bare, no furnishings or anything or like that. And she's it looks completely normal. And she's, sorry, hold on. I'm going to. Do I have permission to touch your eyes?
Yes.
She reaches up and with her fangs extend as she bites her thumb, and two little droplets of blood well up, and she presses them against your eyelid. She says, hold them closed for a moment. 3, 2, open. And you open your eyes, and the light is first the light coming. It's still night, but even the starlight coming in from outside is bright. You can see as if it is daylight. It's minus that yellowish tinge that sunlight puts on it. But more than that, what you see scrawled onto the walls in some ancient language you do not recognize is just words scrawled everywhere. You don't know what it says. You don't quite recognize the language, but it appears to the handwriting, the style of handwriting you recognize as urgent. This was scrawled in blood. And Ruth says, "This was scrubbed clear after I reported it, but with a vampire can always tell where blood has been." And even as she says this, things start to fade. The light, the dark vision that you had starts to fade away, and your images of what you saw written on the doorway start to fade as well. And Ruth says, I did make a drawing of it. I figured. I didn't know what it meant, but I thought I've been in the library trying to figure it out. And she hands it to you.
I don't know what it means either, but we'll find out. I don't think they would keep information like this in the library, at least not in the parts that the monsters here could access, because this kind of feels like something dangerous that they would want to keep out of everyone else's hands.
Probably. I wish I knew what it said.
We have to get back to my friends. They might be able to read this or find some way.
Good time.
Sorry, the weather here has just been wreaking havoc on my allergies. Do you know where my friends are?
They'd probably be in the dining hall.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, let's guide you there. And Doctor, one thing, I did take away a golden opportunity from you in terms of your move when poor little George Clone was devoured. I will give you this. You have the choice of imbuing a part of George's mind into your little baby Bjorn creation, or you have basically in making that connection, you have an idea of how you can improve baby Bjorn's mind for whatever it's developing on its own. Either way, the next time you roll it's alive and roll successfully, or even on a you can always, so if you roll successfully you can add 2 to your Doomsday Clock, but even on a miss you can add at least 1 to that specific Doomsday. And as go ahead.
No, I was going to say I haven't entered the lab yet, but I do think I will be imbuing it with George's brain.
Okay, interesting. You hear you hear little baby Bjorn just go normal, and it's about this time that you see Delphia and Ruth enter the dining room.
Oh, amazing! You're awake. Okay. What? Are you fine? Are you hurt? Is everybody hurt?
That strange silence and sourceless rage. It hit us again while we were in some kind of infirmary. They strapped several of us down to beds. And those of us who reacted, the straps tightened.
Sorry to hear that. That's in line with what we saw. We saw folks being ushered out of here in straitjackets and various degrees of restraint, so that all tracks with what they've got going on. But I'm sorry that you woke up that way.
There's something else. Ruth found something the night that Amit was murdered. And Delphia will show them the drawing that Ruth did of the writing. Neither of us can read this or make any sense of it. But it's something. It was written in blood on the walls. It's since been cleaned up.
This was written on the night that Amit died.
And the rage and the soundlessness began that night as well.
How did you found this and you were able to scribble it because you're able to still see it written?
She wrote it down.
So, and do you tell us that the vampires can see blood writing? Because maybe this is like a permanent curse that was put on this building.
That's always a possibility. I don't like this place.
No. No, this is going to be more than I think we've handled in the past, but, well, at least me. But, I will say that, I think that Amit might have run into this writing and went to the library to look into it, maybe, potentially.
I strongly suspect the answer may be in the library, but not in a part accessible by monsters.
I think he might have been led there and was trapped in whatever that circle was.
I don't have any ideas. Simona, where's Screwdriver?
How does Screwdriver look now?
I think so. Screwdriver is still on the floor on his hands and knees. The wings that had expanded, they have gone back down to regular size. His body is starting to look like the shape that it looked in when he first created it. He still is still recovering from like the thing, but like his physical appearance has quickly adjusted. The nanobots are adjusting to the shape that they are most accustomed to. But like on the floor, on the ground, you see like there's like almost like a chasm from one diagonal edge to the other of the dining hall, like across the floor, as far as it could extend. It's just like not completely hollow, but you can see through the floor to the level below because of how much wood paneling and stuff has been eaten away by the nanobots. And he's just sitting there with his head in his hands. He's just shaking and just rocking back and forth, trying to focus on Minecraft
Center.
So I will tell you all that the buzzing, that thing has been getting more frequent and more powerful. The effects have been getting more dangerous. You feel that whatever you saw in your dreams, a division of monsters across the world, unleashed and uncontrolled, ending the world as you know it. The apocalypse is close. Whatever it is you need to figure out, you are running out of time. And now is the best time to try and connect keys to facets of the mystery. To try and get to the Harbinger before the door opens.
About that, what do we have to do specifically to connect the key? Is there a role that we have to make, or do we just say it?
So what happens is, this is interesting. What you do is you come up with theories, any theories you can, and simply connect the keys to the facets in any way that you see appropriate, in whatever theory that you believe. And you can just connect the keys to the facets that way. You don't have to make a roll for it or anything.
Oh, okay.
Once every facet has been connected to at least one key, you make a roll. It will be 2d6 plus the number of keys you've uncovered, which is 6 at this point. Yes. No, which is 5 at this point. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 5 at this point. So it'll be 2d6 plus 5 minus the complexity of the mystery, which is 4. So 2d6 plus 5 plus 4, it'll be 2d6 plus 1. If you miss, you have come up with the wrong theory, and the Harbinger opens the door and ushers in the apocalypse, and you deal with the fallout. If you roll between an 8 to 10, you've successfully figured out what's happening and managed to get to the Harbinger just before they open the door. On an 11 plus, you reach the door mere moments after the Harbinger has unlocked it. They've gotten powerful, but they haven't gotten full control over whatever apocalypse they're unleashing, and you will have to sacrifice or risk something very huge to stop their ascension. Essentially, whatever theory you come up with, if you roll well, will be the correct theory.
Okay. And
so,
do we want to stop the apocalypse, or do we want to cause it?
That's entirely up to you. But at the moment, you don't know what the apocalypse is. So whatever it is that might be caused might not be to your advantage.
Okay, fair.
Simona would reveal her heart to everyone basically at this point because of this. Because we do kind of know what kind of apocalypse it will be. We've seen the end of the world as much as we've been able to, and those visions that brought us here, that Amit sent to us as well. So we can talk to him about that. She would make that roll unless somebody has something more urgent.
Doctor, you were raising your hand?
I wonder if we know what kind of apocalypse is coming, or if we're being tricked into causing the apocalypse because these people seem to want to get rid of monsters. But I also could be wrong because they seem to be using monsters as a power source, but I'm trying to make it make sense.
Wait, they're using monsters as a source of power?
They're siphoning energy from monsters and they're selling that power to the city.
What's to stop them from attempting to do the same to us?
Well, nothing. We're in the siphon itself. This building seems to be like some kind of an apparatus, or in some way where our occult energy, our monstrous energy, and the source of our, rage itself, it seems to be some kind of, there are two separate powers that are being eked away. the energy that we're expelling for power, and then the occult energy, which we don't know where it's going, or the occult energy might be what's resurrecting Esther.
Wait, what about Esther?
Oh, okay. Actually, hold up. My bad. Esther, well, Simona
She's
found out.
about 200 years old. And has been reborn over and over again. Not because she wanted to, apparently.
So this place doesn't have. It doesn't seem that there's good intentions behind the existence of this place. It seems like it's a institution for keeping monstrous tendencies tamped down while also using monstrous energy and the life force energy of these individuals to sell and to also power some kind of an occult whim.
Simona would ask Dr. G to give her the book. If there's nobody else around who's working for this place. And then she would tell the story of her people and why she has a very specific apocalypse in mind. Not just any apocalypse, but a very specific one of like, doesn't matter what kind of a sacrifice but bringing back the elves and stuff like that. That's what she cares about, and she wants to go through the book and see what she can find out as well. Compared with the writing on the wall, literal writing on the wall that we now have.
Could I fashion some kind of could I find a series of, we're in a cafeteria. Is there a cake dish somewhere with a lid that I can put over the book so the letters don't get away?
Easy enough to find in the dining hall, yeah.
I also am wondering whether I would be able to embody one of the conditions, or actually no, feel overwhelmed or numb in this case.
All right, how many darkest tokens would you like? 2, 3, or 4?
Let's go for 4.
All right, all yours.
Which does put me at 5.
You get one more, you'll be over.
Yep.
You're right at the limit.
Yep.
I just want to know the reveal your heart thing that Simona did. What does that tell us?
Yet.
Oh, okay,
I don't think an actual roll was made for it yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I got confused.
Yet. Sorry, that's okay. I just think that it's a good opportunity while we're sitting and just explaining everything with the dragon's death, and it's saying that it is the last one, and what's been going on her mind, so that everybody understands. Well, it's not a good idea to let this apocalypse in particular go on, because it will not bring what Simona wants it to bring. So yeah, I'll roll the reveal my heart. I will use...
All right, you want to use some of your darkest tokens there?
I think I'll use 2 to go under the 5, just in case.
Okay.
Let's see what that makes it. That makes it a 7. I am happy that I did not use up all of my bonds. So I will in particular use the bond with who do I have one left with? I do have one left with Delphia. So that makes sense, because Delphia would have heard some of this, if not all of it, before, and that sort of compassion, sympathy has been there all along. But now there is a road. There is something. There's an understanding of. We know how to bind souls to clones. We just don't know how to get the souls to be bound, I think, for the elves, and that might have something to do with a different road, something to find out on a different adventure, not in this one particular. And whoever is starting this apocalypse does not care about that at all. And she would actually touch the book and try and see how that reacts as well after telling this story to the book as well as to everyone here. So let's see what this makes. That makes it an 8, and I can choose.
I put
one.
in the chat.
Yeah. Who would I connect to? So I think that the I can't connect to everyone, right? I can't connect to all 3 of them. I have to choose one of them.
No, choose. I mean, yeah, it's a sharing moment, but there's one person in particular you're aiming your connection at for this.
I think Screwdriver looks like
you can connect with the book if you want.
Ooh.
That's honestly what I thought you were going to choose.
The only elf in the room. It is elven. Yeah, that makes sense. And they teach me something important. But it has to choose how to deepen the connection further. So would you say, GM, that the book would choose to tell me something important if I grew closer to it and gained one bond?
You have to choose. Either you gain a bond or they teach you something important.
I think they taught me something important.
Okay, so mark an XP, and as soon as you open the book to check on it, its letters immediately, the book slams open, and all the letters run up your arm, and up your body, up your neck, into your eyes, into your ears, in through your mouth, filling you. You feel knowledge fill your mind. And you know exactly how this ritual works. You recall the ritual circle that you saw in the library. That's something that you can use to bind trauma, pain, and rage, to bind a soul to a body and keep it there for a natural lifespan. You know how this spell works.
They're traumatizing everyone.
But for what purpose?
You are also aware that, given how strong the buzzing was last time, that you are very, very quickly running out of time. You're going to have to act fast to figure this out if you want to stop the Harbingers' ascension.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell the rest of the group. And I think it's time for us to start connecting the dots and to connect all the clues.
I have a thing. I have a move called Touch My Soul. It basically says, whenever you roll to reveal your heart or someone rolls to reveal their heart to you, ask them if your knowledge of them scares them. If they answer no, remove a condition. If you have no conditions, mark one more bond with them. And if they answer yes, mark a condition. So since Simona chose to reveal her heart,
to the book, though,
you can ask her. So you still revealed your heart to everyone, so I'd say it's enough for this move to trigger. And Screwdriver basically asks you if Screwdriver's knowledge of you scares you.
No. Nothing scares
Right? And with that?
anymore.
Okay, so I don't have the confused condition anymore. Let's go.
Awesome.
Um,
You clear a condition. You know something more about a person, and it doesn't scare them. That's connection for an elder god, or former elder god.
Also, as Simona reveals what's in the book, what's in the ritual, Sorry, just give me 1 sec. My mom's calling again.
Okay.
I haven't revealed what is in the book yet. What the ritual is, though. That's one thing.
Okay, that's fair. We'll remind Steve of that when they get back. In the meantime, do you guys want
It
to
has
try
been
and
revealed
figure
to
out
me.
connect the Harbinger?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I actually, with the keys that we found, the photographic evidence about Esther, I think that points to who the Harbinger is.
Okay.
I think it's Esther.
All right. So we have 2 facets connected.
So yeah, I think that was my theory as well. So that's great. So basically, when Simona reveals that the outline, the chalk thing, is part of the ritual, right? Screwdriver's brain goes into overdrive as it does, and you can literally see steam coming out of his ears because of how fast he's thinking. And he's like, okay, so we know that Esther has been brought back to life multiple times, and we know that the energy required to perform such a ritual is enough to summon an apocalypse, right? But that energy has to go somewhere. It doesn't just dissipate into nothingness once the ritual is over. So here's what I think. I feel like every time she gets revived, the energy is stored in her body. And whether knowingly or unknowingly, she is the Harbinger. She's going to bring forth the apocalypse with all that energy that's stored inside her. That's what I feel.
She can't contain it, and that's what these waves are.
Yeah. Because has anybody, like, every time this wave happens, where has Esther been? Have we seen how she reacts to it? Has she actually reacted to it? Is she even around when it happens?
You have not been around Esther when this wave has happened.
Yeah, so either
So
she's...
I think,
Go ahead.
no, it's okay. You finish.
Yes, so either she's doing it on purpose, or someone else is doing it to her, or it's just a natural byproduct of being brought back so many times that the people who brought her back the first time did not think of. And it's coming back to bite us in the ass.
She doesn't care anymore. She's even if she is not doing it, she doesn't care about it. She doesn't care about anything anymore. That's what I saw.
Yes, Doctor?
I got a wacky connection to make here. When Screwdriver saw Static walking past, when they connected to Static's mind and saw Static see the werewolf get cut into every day, even before that portend, can we connect the anachronistic memory of a werewolf being cut into? Do we think that we can connect that to the identity of its killer?
You could. What are you theorizing is the identity of Amit's killer?
I'm trying to see if the doctor enters his mind palace and he Rolodex starts going in that psychic connection that they kind of have in that memory, in Screwdriver's memory of a memory. Is there a way to see who it was that was being cut in, who was cutting into the werewolf? Is there some a wrist or just something a flash of some kind of an identifier?
You do know that it was a sort of a human-looking hand, a humanoid-looking hand, but that's really the only. You're gonna have to theorize as to that handle.
Oh, Static is humanoid looking, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For the past month, he's been plagued by dreams and shit of Amit being killed. And one day, finally, he wakes up and he realizes the only way to stop the nightmare is to make it happen. So he kills Amit.
Oh.
And then the dreams stop.
Okay.
Oh,
Static's been seeing himself kill Amit for like the entire period of time leading up to Amit's death. Whether by their own will or like the will of like the force of magic that's being like the rage space that this house is now, like the compulsion was like amplified, like the monstrous nature was like amplified. Do I roll for that?
You don't need to roll for that. You just connect it. You've still got one key to connect to the door of power.
Oh, I feel like this one is. Can we connect two keys to one solution or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so then I think the ancient language in blood plus the chalk circle, those two things need to be put together somehow to open the door.
Okay. So I'm connecting just them on the sheet. I will let you come up with that theory. What do you think the door of power is, and how does it connect to those keys?
I think it's the whole building.
Oh yeah.
It was the ritual circle has been around for 200 years to bring back Esther.
and
Is it just me, or did
with
we
the
lose him?
writing,
We've temporarily lost Amir. Yeah,
oh
he
no,
got too close to the truth.
oh no, flew too close to the sun.
Oh no.
It goes all the way up.
You're silver. Do you guys want to theorize in the meantime? Or wait, actually, Amir was coming up with his own theories.
There he is.
There he is. Welcome back.
Sorry, something happened.
No worries.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you guys heard me say? I have not heard anything from you in a while.
You guys were coming up on a theory of how to connect the ritual summoning circle and the writing scrawled into the walls of a room in an ancient language to the door of power. You said something about the house?
Yeah, I think it's been getting impregnated by this evil for a couple of centuries. It is being like creating it into a gateway. Sorry, I still can't see Martha. So I might have
Yeah, I think they got disconnected now. So
Oh no.
Okay, so it's not just me. Sorry, Martha.
You're all getting too close to the truth.
Yes.
Yay!
There we go.
You've returned.
Smoothing.
All right, great. Okay, so yes, you were about to present me your theory about how those keys connect to the door of power.
Yeah, it is basically the summoning circle has been there, absorbing some of that dark energy for a couple of centuries now. So that's been going into the stones of the place of this whole building, and then the writing, the blood on the walls was just another missing piece for the house to become the door of power in like the literal sense. So it's not just one room or it's the whole building.
All right, so as I understand this theory, Esther is the harbinger who is using the house, which has absorbed darkness over the centuries, to try and cause the apocalypse, to bring in the power of that apocalypse. So power that has been siphoned from Mercy's residents and was used particularly in Amit's murder to gain that extra shock of trauma out of him.
Makes sense.
I'm just not seeing. I'm just not seeing how Static being Amit's killer
right.
contributed to that.
It might not contribute to him. I mean, it might not have been a direct this thing of Emily's plans, but it definitely probably accelerated it in a little bit if those dreams were coming.
I think it's like it would be very, very easy to like capitalize on like the rage and the bad energy that's like coursing through this place to like.
So Static wasn't like a part of the plan. He just got caught up in darkness and prophecy. That was all driving him nuts.
But it just happened to be Static.
Okay, I think that is enough of a theory. Which one of you is going to make the roll? It's going to be 2d6 plus 1. You cannot add bonds or darkness tokens.
And we need to roll below a 7, right?
No, you need to roll, as usual, between an 8 to a 10.
Oh, okay. I don't think I should do it. I've been having the worst luck, so I'm out.
I'll roll then.
Okay, yes.
You haven't rolled like
Delphia, yes.
Rolled much more than you have.
Yes. And this is the roll.
Oh no.
Oh.
That's a 6.
Oh.
That is a 6.
Oh.
So, on a 7 minus, the door remains hidden. The theory was wrong. Every PC marks 1 ruin. In addition, precious time is lost and the Doomsday Clock ticks forward. If this fills the Doomsday Clock, which it does, the Harbinger has claimed the power of the door, and the PCs will face the worst possible circumstances. So let me tell you what happens now. The mansion begins to rumble and shake. Walls are torn down, and you hear howls and screams come from everywhere. Bursts of energy from people in the power room. Wailing screams from the undead in this house. As every single monster of mercy, aside from the 4 of you, give in to their darkest impulses. You haven't lived with this darkness as long as they have. You are able to resist it just slightly. But all the monsters who live in the mansion, you see them around you erupt into their abandon their humanity completely and unleash their inner darkness. You see the caregivers coming in with their weapons. They can do nothing against this combined onslaught. You see Ruth just behind you, her fingers elongate, and she tears off the head of one of the Mercy caregivers. They're ignoring you for the moment. But who isn't ignoring you is Shadrach, the Shadow Hive, standing above it all. As caregivers die, as monsters unleash, you see little tendrils of darkness reaching up, feeding Shadrach in the darkness above it all. Shadrach is the Harbinger, and they are egging the monsters on as you hear tons of little voices just cry out, destroy them, kill them, hurt them, enslave them, prove your power, prove your power, prove your power. This psychic noise fills all of your heads. So, I need you to answer 2 questions. When the door opens, who is the first to fall and is now lost forever? I will have Delphia, you answer this since this was your role. Not to assign arbitrary responsibility.
Nothing is arbitrary.
The first to fall, one of the Mercy monsters just gets consumed by the darkness.
You see someone with electrical powers aim at the wall and shoot at it. The building pillars start to crumble, the wall starts to fall, and you see a vision of what could befall you at some point in the future. As they use more and more of their energy, screaming out more and more, and the entire wall is just blown backwards, exposing the house to the elements. But the person who released that urge was consumed by their own powers and is burned to a crisp. Dark motes from what is left of their body fly up and swirl around Shadrach the Shadow. Another question is, exactly how is the Harbinger now empowered by what is happening around them? What extra power do you think this chaos is giving them now that the door has been opened?
Someone else answer that.
Yeah.
I think so. Shadrach is the thing that we met in the beginning, right? Amit's friend who was part of the. Okay, I thought that was them, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, so I believe that Shadrach. You mentioned that they're around the mansion all the time, always.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not a physical being, right? They're just
they're a collection of little consciousnesses that are trying to be a single person.
Okay, yeah. So they are going to try to become a single person. Then they are inspired by Screwdriver's thing to build a body for themselves, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it too." And all the darkness that they're collecting from all these creatures slowly is siphoning organic material and turning into a twisted, monstrous, hulking, humanoid body. Not really humanoid, but like more like demonic body entity thing for themselves.
Yes. So where you before saw hundreds and hundreds of tiny dark little motes just floating about in a humanoid shape, they now coalesce into a single shape of darkness with little silvery white outlines of power, creating a single person that stands 20 foot tall in the middle of this dining hall, standing above you all and laughing. And for the first time, instead of hearing them go, "we," this voice says, "I am here. Shadrach has become." What do you do? Shit.
Shit, I really thought it was Esther, you guys.
Yeah, so did I. Fuck. Shadrach wasn't even on the radar. They're like,
I didn't even think about that.
I think that was a missed opportunity. Outside, we should have searched for the key out there. But it's fine. It's too late to think about what ifs now.
Delphia is pissed.
What does Delphia do?
She is angry enough that she is going to give into her power.
Okay. Is this a power through darkness?
No, this is giving into her power and letting it erase her will.
The which move is this specifically?
This is for darkness tokens. She's giving into her power.
Oh right, and yes. Go ahead and take your darkness tokens.
That puts me over 5.
Okay. And I assume this you are straight up letting your monstrous nature know, and go ahead and describe the damage your outburst causes. Or do you want to use it to power through darkness with the extra darkness tokens?
Oh no, she's giving in. She's letting it be known.
Okay.
The darkness that Shadrach is seems almost daylight by comparison to the cosmic darkness that Delphia becomes.
Okay.
The only source of light is her eyes now, which are normally dark. but now they're just glowing purple voids. And she is going to challenge Shadrach.
Okay, so what happens is you unleash your darkness, and what you feel is Shadrach's attention swivel on you, and you see the eyes that are just pure void, pure darkness, and you feel an encouragement. Yes, let all of it go. Let all of it go. And you start to feel your soul, your existence, your personality being pulled into the shadow hive.
You will not touch those I care about.
Okay, so let's see. This would be a power through darkness to avoid the imminent danger of having your soul absorbed by Shadrach.
Okay. And so that would I'm gonna spend the 2 darkness tokens I just took for
Mhm.
this roll.
Okay.
So oh dear. I am rolling like crap now. That is a 5 and I only have 2 bonds I could spend.
Yeah.
You are now Shadrach. Shadrach is now you. You are an extension of who he is. He is an extension of who you are. And you realize that these Omen agents, they're a threat to you.
But they're also my friends.
Mm-hmm. But Shadrach chooses to turn on them and make an attack. First, who do you think was standing closest to you when this all went down?
Oh, that's a very good question. Probably the good doctor, I'm sorry.
Good doctor, you are hit by a wave of just pure dark energy, knocked backwards, and mark a condition as you are harmed. The rest of you, what do you do?
I think Simona is going to solve the situation.
All right, what are you gonna do?
Dark fills her eyes. The darkness that Delphia felt that came through the walls. It's not the same kind of darkness, but it is the dark. And there's like an outline of a building that grows out of her. And it envelops everyone in the room. And we're all transported into a fairy mound.
Holy shit.
I will ask the keeper to tell me how my people expect me to use these resources lawfully. But what we're basically standing in is one of those last refuges of fae folk and the elves that humans did not care for. And this is like the fairy mound was in this place, but it was also replicated inside the fairy mound. And that is a moor, just like an enormous swamp everywhere you look. And you have like water is up to everyone's knees, except of course for the harbinger of the apocalypse, who is 20 feet high and is barely feeling the water. And I would like to mark to ruin.
Okay.
just to use the resources at hand the way that I want. And
Which is, I assume, to confine Shadrach?
confine him in this one specific place in the moor where they are standing, so that it sinks into the swamp up to its knees, and it can't move anymore. And we're all standing outside of the reach of its arms, basically, because of that.
So here is what tradition would demand of your people. There are people who valued freedom and self above all else. They would want you to welcome any guests that you bring here, to understand them, to help them be their best selves. You are breaking this tradition. You are defiling it. This is blasphemy to your people, to confine a person in the same way that they have been confined by Mercy Mansion, the same way the rest of the monsters have been confined. You are taking what makes them them and confining them here to the grounds. Mark II ruin, as all of Shadrach begins to be pulled in, confined, pulled down into the bogs. They scream and they reach out to, and you feel, Delphia, panic and confusion as you're being pulled towards this as well. But a part of you remembers that you are not Shadrach. Shadrach is not you. What is happening? You are not sure. Screwdriver, you felt it immediately when the mind of one of your allies became Shadrach, and when Shadrach became them. You can make a move here. This would be with your psychic powers. This would be an Unleash the Dark to try and free Delphia of Shadrach's influence.
So I could do that, but I was thinking I also have a ruin move that could work here.
Okay.
It's called "You Cannot Kill Me in Any Way That Matters." And it says you learned through your power that secrets are everywhere. You may attempt to tap into them to influence your reality. When you have a secret you wish to wield, describe what truth it will replace and the consequences that it will bring. I'm assuming in this context a secret means a lie, because a lie will overcome the truth and it will become reality.
Then it will no longer... Basically, in this moment, you decide what reality would be.
Exactly.
You decide on what reality is going to be.
Yeah, my reality is that Delphia is not captured by Shadrach and she is free.
Okay. And what consequences will that bring?
The consequence it will bring is... let me think.
I mean, you could leave that up to me, and we'll see what happens after you roll.
Yeah, I think, because I can't think of a consequence.
Fair enough. Okay, go ahead and... I believe you can spend darkness tokens.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 3 here, because, one, I've been rolling horribly, but also I have like 7 darkness tokens right now, so...
Yeah.
Of course, I roll a fucking 8. The one time... God damn it, it's an 8 plus 3, so that's an 11. Holy shit.
Okay.
You can use bond to modify that.
I have no bonds.
Oh shit.
Alright.
Okay, so on an 11 plus, the lie grows more powerful than you intended, and your reality cracks even further.
Okay.
So I can choose from 2 above, but choose 1 from below. So 2 above, I'm going to take... the lie will last for as long as I wish it to, and it'll hold up against any type of scrutiny. Those 2 things I'm choosing. And the third, I'll just pick another ruin. So I have 2 ruins now.
Alright. So what happens is Shadrach's... Delphia that is the truth. Delphia is free of Shadrach's control. That is the That is the secret that you revealed that is now reality. What this means, what you chose is essentially this lie will not give birth to new lies that are beyond your control. As a miniseries, we have 2 more episodes. This is going to come back to bite you. For now, however, all it cost is a bit of ruin to free Delphia from Shadrach's grasp, as Shadrach's hand finally sinks beneath. And the 4 of you are left alone, free of Shadrach's darkness, in this tower of isolation. Threat has been dealt with, and the apocalypse has been averted. What do you do now?
Ryder's just gonna stand up. He's gonna wipe his hands. Well, that was easy. How do we get out of here now?
Well,
Hey, yeah. I've never done this before. Not quite sure.
it's very handy. I think it saved our shit.
Certainly saved the south of India.
So, part of your resources of this are interdimensional portals. You're going to have to basically spend another resource to be able to return you wherever you wish. It could be the mansion, it could be back to division headquarters. You do know that if you return to the mansion, you have Never Was, who can return you to division anyway. You might want to check up on the mansion, or you can leave it behind forever. Or as long as division will let you.
How does everyone feel? I have something to do back in the mansion, but if you guys don't want to go back there, I understand.
We have to go back. We can't. I mean, I won't leave that place the way it was.
We should check on the others.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like the look of that room.
Okay.
The energy siphoning room.
We need to destroy that.
Even if Shadrach is the one causing the apocalypse as it is, there's still the matter of what they're doing there is wrong.
We need to destroy everything that they've been using to hurt people.
Yeah. Simona, the portal that you made to bring us here, do your abilities, is it only limited number of portals you can make, or do they regenerate after a while?
It's basically, I would have to roll again to use my darkness, right?
No, this would be, you'd have to call upon the resources of your fortress to be able to shift you back.
But how do I do that?
Simple.
I mean,
do you do the same thing as you did before? I tell you
oh,
how
so
you
I still have to
use
mark
it.
button.
You'd have to, basically, now to get back, you have to mark either 1 or 2 ruin.
And how do we get rid of ruin?
That would be, you reveal your heart. And if someone grants you hope, that can help remove 1 ruin.
Okay, so can we just sit around in a circle and talk about our lives so we can reveal our hearts to each other, and then Simona has more resources to transport us back?
Doctor sits down and is like, finally, I was born in my spirit has been carried forth. There's a dark portent, and I landed in this incredible scientist.
I would say, you do have 5 ruin a buffer before you basically need to take another ruin move, and even then, it's a long way to being a harbinger. So, you could choose to keep the ruin for now, and I think if you mark one more, that doesn't put you over the edge yet.
Simona has been wanting to go to sleep for hours. She just wants to find a dry spot. She knows where it is, and she's going to take everyone there, and then she can go to sleep and reveal hearts and everything, and then she'll take people back. I mean, she has to explain this whole place.
Right.
She can't just get them here and at least explain the importance of it all. So yeah.
All right, so that is part of what your people expect of you, to explain the importance of places like this, to use it reverentially, and to use it to bring people to safety and sanctuary and joy. And you've done 2 out of 3. That ain't bad. So you only have to mark 1 ruin to take people back to the mansion.
Okay.
Something here.
Yeah, go ahead, Doctor.
This is a sacred place to, like, the fallen elves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I use my division move as a Fey liaison and maybe not so much connect with, I mean, like, in whatever way that I can? I think I didn't have, like, a being in mind when I wanted to, like, liaise as this character, so I think, like, as a general kind of go-between person, the doctor does scientific works for, like, multiple people, and I think in this, like, sacred place, the doctor might kind of want to speak to, like, spirits here and almost, like, liaise for them and just say, like,
I will say, based on your bonds, you definitely know someone of the Fae. Yeah. So that is that. It is that particular liaison that this move will work for.
Okay. Just, like, I want to, like, let the kind of, like, the restlessness of this place maybe just, like, be aware of, like, I know what it takes to bring people back from the dead. Like, I know what that means now. And and someday, technology willing, I will make that happen. Like,
that's
Simona,
the favor you're offering?
Yes.
Okay, that would be a favor 3 for sure. And do you say this within earshot of Simona?
Yeah, I don't think I go off on my own. I just think I, like, make an outward promise that Simona will not be the last.
All right, so Simona, you hear this, and you're wondering why the doctor is not saying this directly to you. It seems like a great, incredible promise, and you're about to respond to how you feel about it, because it definitely makes you feel some kind of way, when suddenly the air shimmers, and you, Simona, thought you were the last of the Fae. This is proving to be untrue, as a being of leaf and shadows steps out from the shimmer into this fortress of isolation, and you realize you are not the last of your kind. As your Fey liaison, do you have a name for this person?
Just don't say Simon.
I'll go with Rasha.
Rasha. She steps out. You see shadow and leaf swirl around her, just beautifully catching the shadow. It works differently from how shadow does. Instead of hiding the light, it sort of redirects light so that she's always perfectly lit, even in the strange light of this Fey realm that you are in. The leaves add a sense of drama to her robes and flutter her hair about in these perfect, almost ethereal ways. She is not hiding her face in the way Simona does. She is a being of just utter beauty. And when she appears, for a moment, all of you find it hard to think a little bit, except Simona, who is used to beings of this kind of power. And She comes to you and she places a hand on your shoulder, Doctor, and she says, "That is a hell of a favor you offer. Go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 3.
Oh, plus 3. 9. Okay, cool.
All right. She embraces you, just wraps her arms around you, if this is all right, and pulls you in a close hug and says, "Thank you, beloved. I will be holding you to your vow. You may choose a number of actions equal to the scale of the favor you promised. So you gain 1 bond with Rasha, and you get to choose up to 3 of those actions."
Clear a condition, because I have 3.
All right, you clear a condition.
Okay. And... Oh.
If you pick that 4th one, one weapon, item, or secret that will help you face your next challenge, she will simply give you something that will allow you to teleport back to the dimension.
Oh, cool. I'll take that.
Okay, that's 2. She gives you this feather and places it on your hand, and immediately it turns into this light etching of a tattoo. She says, "You may use this once to teleport up to you and your allies," and she gives Simona a bit of a wink. Back to wherever you wish. And what is the 3rd thing you desire? She definitely puts a lot of weight into a lot of emphasis into the word desire.
It's also the power of 3s. Be careful with the Fae.
Mhm.
It's the pigeons. Simona didn't care.
Ooh. Yeah.
You can always choose to clear another condition, but if you want to choose something else from that list, go ahead.
Would I be able to choose that last one twice? Could I also get a secret about...
Sure. About what?
About, freaking, the Harbinger? Traveling?
About this Harbinger?
Yeah,
Shadrach?
Shadrach?
All right. She leans in and whispers into your ear. "Shadrach still lingers in the soul of your friend. Look out for her anointed one." And with that, her honeyed voice still lingering in your mind, she presses a small, lingering, warm kiss to your cheek, and then is gone, leaving nothing but the scent of honey flowers.
Stupid honey flowers.
Doctor turns around. Doctor turns around. "Gang, I think I've fallen in love today. I think that's me. I think I'm in love. Okay. Well, I have what we need to get us back, but we could still rest if we need to. I feel weak."
Simona is already sleeping or something like that. She's just like...
All right. You rest for a night in this strange place that is nowhere, lost adrift, like most of the memories of the Fae. You know that the mansion is waiting for you whenever you wish to go back. But right now you're just sort of sitting and watching the bog into which Shadrach was pulled. You, Doctor, remember the secret you were told, and you can't help glancing towards Delphia every now and again. The rest of you can't help glancing towards the bog where Shadrach was pulled into, and every now and again you swear you see erupting from the bog, like sparks from a fire, a singular mote of darkness. With that, we will end today's session. We will find out what happened at the mansion when you return. And we will give you guys a little downtime because God knows you've earned it. But we will also begin our next mission. For apocalypses are always coming. They are like death. You have merely staved off what many believe is the inevitable. And with that hopeful note,
and taxes.
with that happy note, a good night to all of our viewers, or a good time zone wherever you're watching. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, there is hope to be found in the darkest of places, and darkness to be found everywhere else.
I'm gonna get you, Esther.
Okay. Yes. Anything else you wish to add, Steve?
Oh, no. We'll be back next week with next Wednesday for Apocalypse Keys Session 3. This Monday, we've got Thursday Sword Lesbians. And Saturday, of course, tomorrow is our big blow-off for Tales of Fate 2, where we're trapped on a monorail and about to get ambushed by a bunch of weirdos. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah, okay. That's all of it from my end. But for now, Steve out.